guys, it's Glenn from Glenn'sCarCollection.com, and today we're going to be talking about the New York Auto Show. It's April 15th, so this is the first day the auto show's open to the public. It'll be open, it typically opens Good Friday, and then it closes a week from Easter, so it's like 10 days. I got to go a couple days ago on press day, so I thought I'd make a quick video for you. So there were a lot of cool cars at the auto show, but a lot of cars were missing. I'll go over what manufacturers were missing, and unfortunately, the show probably wasn't as good. This was probably my least favorite show, unfortunately. The great thing about press day is like nobody was there, and typically the press days have been getting more and more crowded every year. But you've got to see, everybody got to see a lot of cool cars. So let's get into some crazy cars first, and then we'll go into cars that you and I are both going to want to buy. So the first, and before I start all this, remember, like, share, and subscribe. I just hit 16,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. I'm really trying to get to 20,000 subscribers because I think that would open more doors for me for press cars and stuff like that. So please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you're definitely a car enthusiast, you at least know one or two friends that are car enthusiasts, please get them to subscribe to the channel as well. All right, thank you. So let's start with the crazy cars first. So there was a car there called the Deus. Now the Deus, it's very similar to a Rimac, at least I think it is. The Deus is an electric supercar that won't be out until 2025, and they're only going to make 99 of them, so you're probably not going to get one. God knows what the price is going to be. It's 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds. So now we have a car that's going to be going 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, which is incredible. 248 miles an hour top speed. It's got 2,200 horsepower. Yes, you heard that right. 2,200 horsepower. It's all electric. 1,475 foot-pounds of torque. So it's called a Deus Vane. Deus is a new electric car company, so I guess that Vane is the model. And it's got a BMW type interior, as you see here. And they had a couple partners. They had Williams from Formula One, Williams Advanced Engineering, and the legendary Ital Design. So that was a cool car. I didn't get some great pictures of it because there were a lot of people, but it seems like it's gonna be a winner. God knows what it's gonna cost. I don't know, $1 million? Let me know in the comments below. Next up is the Corvette Z06. So I have a deposit on the Z06 just like everybody else in the world, and I'll reveal in a later episode what what my number is. But the Z06 is here in the flesh, and they had actually the coupe and the convertible. And what was cool about the convertible, it had carbon fiber everywhere, so awesome. Why do you want the Z06? Flat plane crank. So it's a 5.5 liter V8. It's known as the LT6, the engine designation. 670 horsepower at 8,900 RPM, 460 foot-pounds of torque at 6,300 RPM. So how does it make power? By building rev. So flat plane crank, 9,000 RPM redline or whatever it's going to be. I would even take one with no options. I know most people with the wing and the track package. If I can afford it, I will, but I want to get a Z06 for the channel. I have a deposit, so we'll go from there. Next up, well, we'll go over a couple more cars, and then I'll tell you what my favorite car of the show is, and I hope they make it because it was just a concept. When you first walk into the show, the first thing you'll see is the booth by Nissan, and you'll see the new Z car. Now, I sat in it. I sat in the blue one here. It was a 6-speed manual. It had the rev matching, as you can see in the pictures. It had a really nice interior, so I'm assuming this was the higher trim level. But this is going to be a real cool car. I think pricing in this car will be $40,000 to $45,000, and I'm sure there's going to be huge dealer markups. So it's got a twin-turbo V6, 3-liter, producing 400 horsepower. You can get it with a 6-speed manual or a 9-speed automatic. Please, please, please get the manual so they'll keep making these cars. So again, twin turbocharged V6, a lot of power. If you can get one in that $40,000 range or low 40s, that would be an amazing car to get. Now, what's great about the car is they didn't go all-wheel drive. So it's the same engine as that Infiniti 400 Red Sport, but that's an all-wheel drive car. So they kept this car rear drive, which is great, and giving us the option of a manual transmission. And these colors aren't half bad either. I would take it in either one of these colors. So can't wait to see that car. That's going to be a hot one. So one car that we would gladly own as a daily driver that was at the show, making its premiere, at least to me, is the GR Corolla. Now, what's great about this car, it's a hatch. It competes with, and it's all-wheel drive, so it competes with the Golf R. And it actually, even though it's front-wheel drive, I think it competes with the Civic Type R. Now, it's 6-speed manual only, just like the Civic Type R. And it is all-wheel drive. So this is one car you can use all the time. Now, the starting price is low 30s. I saw it somewhere. I think it said 32,000, maybe 40 with options on it. I think there's, just like the Nissan Z, there's going to be huge markups on this car as well. But it looked awesome. I even liked it in this gray color. And no, Tommy, it's not GT Silver. But I think this will be an awesome car to drive as a daily driver. And I love that they made it a 6-speed manual only. So some specs on that car, it's going to have a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder engine, turbocharged of course, but it makes 300 horsepower, which is going to be incredible with a 6-speed and an all-wheel drive. So I think this is awesome. So the GR racing series from Toyota, you have the Supra, now you have the Corolla. That's pretty cool. Now, speaking of the Supra, I'm positive with the Z coming out that they're going to make it with a manual transmission. I said this back a couple years ago when it came out, and it looks like at some point we will have the 6-speed. But my favorite car of the show, and if they put a 6-speed manual, I'll buy it, is the Supra Sport Top. So this actually debuted at SEMA, so it's kind of like a one-off that was at the show behind ropes, so it was hard to get a good picture of it. And basically, they took a Supra and made it a Targa Top, just like the Mark IV Supra, or the Mark III Supra. And I think it would be awesome. It looked gorgeous. It looked phenomenal. If they would make a Supra Targa with a manual transmission, I would buy it. I would just think it would be an amazing, amazing car. Let me know what you think in the comments. Just a short video. I wanted to get this out so you have your guide to the New York Auto Show. We'll do in-depth videos on the Z, the Corolla, the Z06, maybe even the Sport Top Supra if they make it. Oh, so what manufacturers weren't there? So a couple years ago, BMW left. I guess they weren't getting the return on their investment. It's very expensive for them to do the auto show. It's not free. They got to pay, to be there and then bring in all the cars and deliveries. And I guess they just feel maybe with social media or YouTube or, BMW does a lot of events at parking lots at football stadiums and stuff. We can drive the cars. So probably that sells more cars than people going to the auto show. So they haven't had an auto show since 2019 because 2020, it's always the spring around April. It always starts on Good Friday. So they didn't have in 2020 because that's when the lockdown was happening. 2021, they tried to bring it to the end of the August, and then you had that Omicron, so they shut it down. So this is the first time any of us had been in the auto show since 2019. So BMW was already gone in 2019. So this year, not only was BMW gone, but Mercedes was no longer there. Audi was no longer there. Figure I finally bought an R8, and I'd love to see the new R8s at the show, and it's not there. So no, the only German manufacturer that was there was Volkswagen. So no BMW, no Mercedes, no Audi, no Jaguar Land Rover. So all the ones that you'd want to see were all gone. So it was disappointing in that respect. I get to go for free. If I was paying for a ticket, I don't know. I would have to consider it, but those are my favorite brands always seeing. But it was good to see the Z06, the GR Corolla, the Z, and the Deus and some kind of cars like that. But all right, so that's our video. Hopefully you check out the auto show. I'll do more in-depth videos of all that. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Enjoy.